Travis Etienne, who didn't play at all last year. He was a injury participant last year, drafted though in the first round, pick 25 from the University of Clemson. Guys, what are your thoughts here on Travis Etienne?
I think Etienne, just coming right out of the gate, is a mid to back end RB2. I think his upside definitely comes from the passing game, while he does have the ability to run in between the tackles as well. But he's going to be the gadget guy, right? James Robinson is coming back from injury. I know we're going to touch on him in a bit, but Etienne is going to be the lead back, and whether they go RBBC or they kind of take a traditional lead back format, we'll see how Peterson wants to do it. I think we all agree it's RBBC, but remains to be said. But Etienne, mid to back in RB2, but he has the potential to sneak into that upper RB2 range for you.
Yeah, just like Kevin said, he's going to get a lot of his yards through the air, maybe not so much on the ground. I do think that, we look at what the past has taught us about, a Doug Peterson offense, and he likes to get running backs involved. He likes to get the tight end involved. Obviously the passing game is pertinent, but keep in mind, when he was in Philadelphia, they were just literally plucking dudes off the street to come play running back for him because they were having such health problems with it. So I think that's something that, it kind of worked for them in Philadelphia, doing that kind of running back by committee approach. And granted, they had some good running backs the year that they won it all. They still were splitting time between two guys. So having a bell cow is not really in Peterson's MO, at least in past years. So I would anticipate it is a running back by committee. And ETN, there's a lot to remain unseen. Like he played high level competition at Clemson, but as good as Clemson was, it's not the NFL week in and week out. So there's a lot of question marks there. I think a lot of people, if you were in a dynasty draft, that a lot of when he got hurt was kind of late. I know that happened in our league. And I know people who took a flyer on him late and said, yeah, I'm just going to stash him and only get, a super late round penalty for keeping him. Right. Yeah. Like that's a real thing. So I think a lot of those people probably be pleasantly surprised because it's a late round penalty and you're going to get, a high end, a running back too in that area. So we don't know what he's going to look like on an NFL field, but he does have a pretty good offensive minded coach that can find ways to get him involved and get him open in the passing game. And then of course, trying to get the running game going too.
Right, I'll offer a little bit different viewpoint here. I think he's going to be a fringe RB1 when it's all said and done this coming season. Yep, and I'll go through some of the reasons why, but a lot of it is I think he's going to get a lot more of that backfield by himself than a lot of folks are necessarily thinking, right? James Robinson, who has been a workhorse back for the Jacksonville Jaguars over the last couple of seasons, and we're going to get into him quite a bit there, but he is coming off of a torn Achilles that happened late into the season. We have yet to really see a running back bounce back quickly off of a torn Achilles. Cam Akers did that a little bit, but Cam Akers was spotty when he came back. And he was the very severe outlier on that. Most of these running backs, it typically seems like we need to have them be a 2 to 3 year out type of deal before we really see them return to fantasy relevance. Running backs, linebackers, they tend to have a longer time to bounce back on that one. Devonta Foreman is a guy that also suffered a similar injury to that one. Took him a few years to kind of bounce back and really show up on the field well again. Marlon Mack, we have yet to see him return back to form on that one there as well. Those are two recent examples there. But Travis Etienne does have the passing work upside. He is right, and that's one of those that a lot of folks, when I hear them talk about him, they talk about him like he's a scat back type of deal. He is a big body guy. He's 5'10", 215. He can run with some power there, and he definitely has very good hands to catch the ball out of the backfield. Great chemistry with Trevor Lawrence, taken in the same draft out of the same university there, and that was kind of his guy down there at Clemson. So I think you're going to see some pretty good work there, and it's not going to surprise me to see him. I don't know that he finishes fully in RB1, but it was not going to surprise me to see him finish in like RB 13, 14, 15, kind of in that range. And I think that you're going to get some tremendous value on him because I think a lot of folks will tend to stay away from this Jacksonville room just a little bit to the point where you may be able to snatch him up in the third, fourth round type of deal with capital coming up in a redraft type of league there.
No, high upside play, right? As the fantasy community is chomping at the bit for Javonte Williams to kind of emerge as this all-pro back for the Broncos. Let's not forget that a year ago it was a unanimous decision. Like, it wasn't even up for debate that Etienne was the running back to grab, not Javonte Williams.